What is finally back? Season 2 of Master of None. I've been waiting for a long time. Check this out. It was 2015 when this show jumped off the map, and now everyone has been waiting for it. We are finally together. We got a great AfterBuzz panel, and there's one thing that you need to know. We're going to teach you the proper kiss and wave. That's going to happen for sure. And when we talk to you, just like the show, we're going to say one simple thing. Hi, cutie. AfterBuzz Master of None Season 2 starts now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
There we go.
Oh, that's that song. What song is that, you wonder? Hold on, I wrote it down. This is when they were on the Vespas. Hold on. It is by an artist named Pino D'Angelo. Well, hold on, listen to him. Okay.
Oh, his voice is hot.
Bring him up a little.
Pino D'Angelo, awesome.
What? How sexy is that? Oh, yeah. Come on, Master of None Season 2.
Love it.
Let's see. How does Tsahai dance? Go ahead, Tsahai. Give it to us.
Go Paige.
Wow. Okay. Good day, man.
Good evening.
I love how this sounds right now. Master of None Season 2 is finally back. We have been waiting for a very long time. I thought it would be an appropriate way to start the show by playing that song because, online everyone kind of has something to say, and I think a lot of people saw the Vespa scene and were like,
Yes.
oh my God, I want that.
Do you know that it's actually the screenshot on Netflix, of the show?
Yeah.
So if you go on, I opened Netflix tonight, and the promotional shot, the initial shot for Netflix was Arnold and Dev on their
Rightfully
little
so.
red
And I saw that
Vespas.
on the bus stops in West Hollywood. So
Oh,
they're
right,
all
right.
over,
Yeah, you Instagram that.
Oh, yes,
The
I
funniest
did.
thing, too, is, I thought I was corny, myself. I was like, I kind of want to know what song that is because it was very disco-driven.
Right.
I didn't know what it was, right? And I was like, let me Shazam it and let me see if, I'll be corny.
Shazam it.
I did. I Shazammed it. I Shazammed that song because I was like, the Vespa, it was giving me energy, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought it was the only one. If you go on to not Master of None, I'm sorry, but that artist, you will see a bunch of people
at
who
that.
said, I'm on this page because of Master of None.
Look at that.
So, I mean-
Aziz and the Master of None folks changing lives.
Yeah, okay.
We got our notes.
Let's start it off. Okay, so
know.
all right, cool. So my name is Ronnie Jr. I used to work with AfterBuzz years ago. I'm now back, and I'm excited to join this panel. At randomly RJ is my Instagram handle.
And I am Paige Bach. I am at Paige Kelly Bach on Instagram and Twitter.
And allora, I'm Rick Hong. You can find me on all social media at Rick Hong.
And hi, cutie. I'm Tsahai, and you can find me at Say Hi Tsahai. That's SayHiTsahai on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, good. So the first thing I want to know from all of you guys, and I also want to mention to our audience here, we don't know each other at all. This was like
But
a
I feel
first.
like we do after the over 50 emails.
We
Wasn't
do.
it?
Yeah.
I have never been part of an AfterBuzz team, and I'm relatively new here, where everyone was so passionate about a show and so ready to just discuss, and not in a very, as much as we've been very serious about making the show great, it's the chemistry between all of us and the way that we've been passionate about the show and shared jokes and just had this sort of back and forth.
One
it made
email
my
turned into
day.
50, yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
Well, that was the first question I wanted to ask all of you guys because I think we all have a different experience. We, of course, will get to season 2 in 1 second, but what brought you guys to Master of None, even season 1? Was it a Netflix thing? Were you an Aziz fan? Was it an accident? Can you guys all share your experience on why you loved the first season?
I was an Aziz fan. I loved him from Parks and Rec. I mean, especially when he did that classic, treat yourself. So that was when that episode where he was just shopping and buying the most craziest things for himself. So after that, I just really liked his comedy, and that's what brought me to the show. And there's the diverse cast and just the real life take on relationships and being a person, growing and living is what really kept me watching.
Okay.
For me, I wasn't sure what I was gonna get with Aziz because he likes to do that, like my bing bong.
Yeah.
Or he and the Tom Haverford character is a little bit like his comedy routine, but to see something he was doing something completely different.
Yeah.
So you watch episode 1 and all of a sudden it's like, oh, plan B? I was like, what is going on? But then for me, being, Korean American, being an Asian American actual guy watching episode 2.
Parents, the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Much
Parents
acclaim
is
on that episode,
killer.
yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't kill the family chicken. But it's very true that
I did. And you wouldn't think that. But I
Good luck,
did,
right?
you know?
Yeah.
yeah, but it's very true. Like in an Asian household, like when you're on first generation, and your parents don't really tell you. Yeah, it's very true. It's just, oh, it was really really hard. Study hard, and that's what you need to do in your life. And so like after that, I was hooked. I was totally hooked with. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like this journey. I was like, I know what this is about.
Yeah. I think I always liked Aziz. I mean, I am a huge fan of a lot of stand-up comedy, and I've always been very interested in it. I liked Aziz Ansari, but I was never a major fan. And then there were certain things about his personality that pulled me in. Like, I love his kind of confidence. It's not like an egotistical confidence, but like I'm embracing my awkwardness confidence. So when he released a Netflix series, for me, I was like, I feel like this is going to be great. Like, I feel like this is his area and this is his space. And I was just so interested in seeing what happened. And although I wasn't a huge fan of season 1, episode 1, I stuck through it and like immediately
It got better.
got so hooked. And there's something about him that is so infectious in a very unique way. I love the way that he is like attractive, although he's not the cool guy, and that's the coolest thing about him.
Yeah, and he's already talking about his weight, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's like he embraces all of it, but it makes him cool, and I love that sort of confidence that he has. And it's people that are confident are attractive.
Definitely.
All right, let's write that down in the notes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But for me, it was interesting because I kind of like, I don't know who said it here on the panel, but I wasn't like an Aziz fan. Like, I did not like him. I just, I knew of his stuff, and it was cool, and I would hear people talk about him.
Right.
But that's not like why I went there. And then I was flipping it one day and I was like, okay, same with you. Episode 1, I didn't know what was happening and I wasn't a huge fan of his necessarily, so I didn't get it. But once we hit season 2, episode 2, it was like incredible. And to this day, I think Ladies and Gentlemen episode is still so fantastic. I think the Old People episode, when Rachel's grandmother was singing, like I could leave it on the credits just to like get into that moment. So I think this show has a really good humor about it, but it really like connects to the soul too.
Definitely.
I was living in New York at the time when this show came out, so I'm watching it in my Harlem apartment. Like, oh my God, this is like such, not a mirror, but obviously memories that I could really relate to.
Right.
And I always like those New York, coming of age type stories. The Girls and How to Make It America on HBO was a favorite of mine.
Oh, that was a
Loved
really
it.
good show.
Loved that show.
It was unfortunate. Like it only had like 3 seasons.
I know.
How to Make It America, I AfterBuzzed. It was only 2. Yeah,
It was only 2.
We loved it. And I'll be honest, like when I went into watching this show, I was like, oh, is this another kind of equivalent? Like I love to see shows with 25 to 35-year-old. As I'm getting older, hopefully we could set storylines with.
30-something.
Yeah. Now let's go higher.
You're still in that gap. Just
Yeah. Shh. But I like those shows. I like the what's going on with my life. If am I making the wrong
Coming
decision?
of age, in a sense.
Question to you guys. Maybe somebody has the answer. I developed a thing in my head. But why is it called Master of None?
I think
There's
it's
a book.
Oh, okay.
Do you know there's a
Glad
book?
we asked.
No.
There is a book. I found this out tonight. I'm not like extremely researched or anything. I had no idea until I sat down tonight with a girlfriend that was like, I read the book. And I was like,
The book?
And I now have it, so we can all read
nice.
it.
Share it. Yeah.
Oh
But
man,
apparently
I'm ordering it right now.
There is a book, and I think that's probably part of the reason that the show is so attractive to people is because it's based on a lot of like Aziz Ansari's reality. Like he was in Italy at a point in time. He learned how to make pasta.
Okay.
So I think it's like there's a book that it's kind of based off of.
I also thought it was from that phrase, jack of all trades.
Me
master of
too.
Yeah.
none, because
Yeah.
we see him trying so many different types of jobs. Like one minute he's an actor, next minute he's a pasta maker. So
In season 1, his dad grills him about that. His dad is like, you've got to make a choice.
Hey man. He's like that weird. Hey man.
Oh my God, was the dad not the breakout star of
love
season
him
1?
so
Oh
much.
my
Like,
God.
I
so
realized it was
adorable.
the dad, the real father, but
And
I
the
didn't.
mom.
I didn't realize that. But I was watching all the interviews. He was on Fallon
But
and everybody.
I love that about the show is he keeps it, and I think this is why people love it. It's because it's so authentic. Like it's still TV and it's still scripted, but it's so authentic and it makes it relatable.
Yeah.
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 Well, I think even his brother's writing on this season as well.
Oh, really?
That was another new little announcement.
Keep it in the family. It's hard to break it up. Break
Yeah,
into
yeah.
Hollywood.
And
Might
when
as well.
when Aziz takes to Instagram, like the comments he says, to me they're very warm. I think he wrote like it was a picture of some of the reviews, and it was like, oh, season 2 now streaming live. Thank you for letting me do a show that I get to create with my best friends and family.
Yeah.
Like, why when anyone else says that? Like, no diss to any other celebrities, but
Right.
when he says that, I kind of feel that.
Yeah.
So again, like you, not being a Aziz comedian fan necessarily, this is it for me. I like it.
Yeah, but not being a huge fan, there was still something so attractive about him.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you
the
feeling
reason...
him? Are you giving him
no,
a high cutie
no,
right now?
I mean, like,
Come on, hey, cutie.
I think so.
Hi,
She's like, allora.
Allora. No, I think that there is something about watching him that you just watch him and you're like, he's gonna do something that's gonna be different. Like, he's not just a stand-up comedian who's going to be on stage. There was just like sort of this essence that I got that I was like, I'm going to be interested in whatever he does from this point on. I'm not essentially like favorite stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
But there was something about him that I was like, I'm just really interested in what he does.
But the thing about him is like he's not like a Kevin Hart where he's got a lot of swag. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But then he might say something in a super funny way. He's super smart, but he doesn't come off annoying like someone that's too smart. But he's still really personable. And like because I was looking at his outfits, like he had on this like button-down shirt and his little pot belly showing. He's got these like loafers on.
Because
You know what I'm
he's
saying?
talking to the kid about being chubby.
Yeah.
And then you see him. It's just like, oh yeah, he's got like a belly. He's wearing a
so
shirt and he's
cute.
owning the fact that like,
Yeah.
well, there's a little bit of a belly showing.
That's
And
one of my favorite scenes where he's like, are you saying I'm chubby? And the kid's like, well, I'm chubby too because I also eat
That
too
kid's
much.
awesome.
And I was
That
like,
kid was
Italy.
awesome.
Oh, that was little Mario.
Love
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah. No, he's Aziz has
good.
the term I was in my head was eager. He's eager. Like that's what I saw in season 1 and season 2. Whatever he does, he's
a
very
great way
eager.
to put it.
Does he get crushed and sad? Yeah, we'll talk about season 2,
Yeah.
episode 1. Yes, he gets emotional, but he just seems like an eager guy. So it's lessons for us all, I guess.
Yes.
Before we get into season 2, because I know we do have to do that. Do you guys have a favorite episode of season 1? I know we all talked about this on our email chain, but
I mean, I pretty much said it, right? So, like episode 2.
Parents?
Because I relate to it the most. If it wasn't that one for me, it's the why can't there be? It was the whole issue about
that one's called Indians on TV. I've watched the
Yeah.
show so many
I
times. Yeah.
see. This is why you're the lead host.
I appreciate Indians on TV because I'm often cast as like, I often go out for something bigger and they're like, and you'll just stand there and look nice or do whatever and be fully American. I'm like, I'm not American. I'm from South Africa.
Yeah.
But it's like
South
one of those
Africa.
things where it's like when you're in the commercial world, they just kind of stereotype
Yeah.
you and it just related
It was
to
good
me.
to watch that. Yeah.
I was like,
see.
I get it. Like, I get what you're going through. And they were like, we're going to cut an Indian gardener or like add an Indian here or there. And it's just like in the commercial world, for some reason, it's still okay to talk that way.
Yeah.
But it just made a lot of sense to me because I was like, oh, yes, yeah, I've definitely had that feeling.
And it was
before.
funny because in that episode, he exposed even his friends that didn't know it too, what was
Right.
going on. So
Yeah.
it was a little education for everyone, I think.
Yeah. What I love about the show is the female voice. Like, it seems very authentic. Like that situation with Plan B, where, you know, it was funny that he was more nervous than the girl. And Rachel was like, you can keep going. He's like, nah, I was all
What about
in
those
there."
little guys?
Yeah.
What was the last time you, did it?
And that speaks,
Earlier.
again, to just him being a little like uncool, but which makes him
Yeah.
cute. So, and I love the fact that when they were at the pharmacy, he was like, no, I got this. Because in situations like that, I've
Generally,
heard,
that doesn't happen, right?
Wait, she heard. She only
I've
heard.
from people that sometimes,
Sources.
yeah, exactly, that the guy doesn't take that responsibility. Most of the time, the guy isn't worried at all, and it's the girl shelling out the $80 to take care of that situation. So it just right there was like, okay, this is real life. They know what they're talking about.
See, I always buy the Martinelli's juice for the girl though.
Oh, you do.
Oh,
But
I always get the
such
apple
a
juice. I was
romantic
like, hey,
guy.
you want to buy one of these? I at least do that.
chivalry.
I at least do,
Chivalry
yeah.
is not dead.
And I know we went on and on. It was just because season 1 was that good. I mean,
Amazing.
there was XOXO Grandma was something I was saying to people forever. There was all these little sayings, and I know we are supposed to do season 2, so I guess we should start.
Let's
Get
do
into
it.
All right, so we get a beautiful like black and white. We go straight to Italy, right in his bed. That's how we started off.
Yeah.
First reactions to the
Alarm clock.
style and the texture of the of the season 2.
I thought it was beautiful. I loved that it immediately said, okay, we're doing something fresh and new right now. And I didn't know where he was initially. I didn't know that because I hadn't prepped at all. Like, I liked going into the show fresh. So I didn't know he was in Italy. So when I saw that bedroom, I knew it looked different than his previous bedroom, but I didn't know where he was. And then the whole thing with the alarm clock. And
Old school clock.
Yeah. But I was annoyed. I was like, okay, this clock is ringing a little too long. But again, I think they do that on purpose to make it just keep it real. So
one thing that I really appreciated about the first episode is that it was set up in this old like style sort of. It had this old setting and it was like shot old school in black and white, and the music throughout the episode tends to be like sort of an Italian film when there was black and white film in Italy. But the thing that I really liked about it was that like it was kind of shot in that way, but then the humor in it was so current and modern. Like it was immediately like, oh, we're in this different era and in this different place, and we're not in America anymore.
Right.
And then the immediate action was like, oh, you know, we're hitting an alarm clock, and he's just talking fully American with slang and whatever, you know, just throwing it out there. I kind of loved the
balance.
juxtaposition of those two things, and it really made me love it because I was hesitant to almost watch the first episode because I was like, wait, what are we doing?
Was that because you didn't like the first episode of season 1 or just?
No, I'd bought into the season. I loved the show, and I was like, wait, this is not what I was expecting. Am I going to buy into it? And then when I saw what they were doing, I was like, whoa, is this whole season going to be in black and white? I don't know why that's a thing nowadays. I'm like, what, black and white? That's totally not going to be good TV. But then immediately it was like on the modern jokes and on the modern everything, and it added to it.
I think when
you
you fall in love with the show and then it comes back another season and they do kind of take you somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's a like you know you love the show, but you get a little nervous. I love the show on Amazon. Mozart in the Jungle was one of my favorites, and the third season they were in Italy, and I was also a little like, oh, what am I? Is it going to be a new show? What am I going to get? So I think both Master of None and that show did well. Where I was hesitant as well with you, but
Yes, like in the first 2 minutes, I bought into it. Like I was kind of hesitant. I knew I wanted to watch it still because I never give up on a show until 3 episodes in, because I feel
Nice
like
rule.
that's a writer thing, and that takes time for a show to develop and a story to develop. But I was like, I'm going to commit to it. But like, honestly, 5 seconds in, when his humor came back and the Uzis came back, I was like, this is going to be really interesting.
For me, I was excited to see that it was in black and white because I was like, okay, they're going artistic now. Okay, you're trying to just visually stimulate us from the jump. Also, thinking as like in a production sense, if they're flying an entire crew out to Italy, that means it's like, mama, we made it. The network is giving us money.
Netflix is very happy.
They're paying us to travel for several weeks. We don't have to rush. We're shooting here for several weeks and we don't have to rush, and I thought that spoke a lot to how far that the show has come. So that made me excited.
When you saw how great that first episode was, you're like, okay, I see what you guys working. You know.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half because I think it dropped somewhere between either right before Thanksgiving 2015 or somewhere around there, like somewhere in November 2015 is when it dropped, and now it's like been a year and a half, and so I was a little scared because I loved season 1 so much to see tonally if season 2 could pull it off, but episode 1 is like, yeah, the opening sequence is a little, okay, it's black and white, he's in Italy, he's not in America, but as soon as he starts conversing with people and you see like the humor's back, the tone is back.
What did you think of his group of friends? So we have little Mario kind of comes into
My
the
fave.
play.
Love
You
him so
have
much.
Francesca, I guess, is the granddaughter of the pasta shop he's at, which is what is it, Boutique del Tortellino.
Some tortellini.
Yeah. We're trying our
Can I
best.
interject for a bit?
Oh, interjection from Anthony. We love it. Yes.
Here in the booth, I'm just, with my thoughts. Going off what Paige said, though, that whole look and everything to the aesthetic to the whole first episode, that's definitely an homage to neo-Italian realism when it came out. And Thieves is, of course, like a playoff to Bicycle Thieves. Like, they steal, in the movie Bicycle Thieves, they steal his bike and he can't work. And in this, Dev gets his phone stolen and he can't reach the girl because of it.
Right.
And I really appreciated these, homages to these old, Italian
and they
films.
actually spoke about the homages as as you just said right now. So it's an homage to The Thieves, right? An Italian film, and
By the Bicycle Thief, which you see in the opening sequence. There's like a list of DVDs.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
exactly.
the one on the
I was
very
about to
top.
say that.
Oh, it was actually in the room there?
Yeah,
Nice.
Next to the bed.
Zoom
Next to the
in.
bed, yeah.
he
bed
had
by the clock.
several
And there was
movies.
actually
That's awesome.
a Vogue article about this, which stated that the first episode of the season was an homage to
Right.
Italian film and Italian culture, and it was because Aziz Ansari spent a year in Modena, actually. I don't know if I said that right. If I didn't, sorry. But that he like actually learned how to make pasta and kind of experience the culture and drew from it to create the second season of the show. So thank you.
And
very
I
much.
read that the reason that he also had those films on his bedside table is because that's how we are supposed to think that his Italian got so good so quickly, because he hasn't been there very
nice.
long. So
Yeah.
he was really immersing himself in the
Time. Like, we don't see a lot of that very much.
Yeah.
And even like with the music industry, it's like these rappers have to put out like a song every 22 seconds, and I could appreciate what he did within this project.
It's also pressure from like networks and studios to try to churn out off momentum. But for him, he even said it. I think after like it was successful, he said like it's gonna be a while before season 2 comes out, because I think he had to figure out, okay, we put a lot of. Sometimes people have this thing about albums. And sometimes, like, first albums, they're either good or they're really bad because they put so much energy in terms of music.
Right.
They put a lot of energy into that first album to make it so good. And Master of None, same thing. It could have just been a one season,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And maybe he didn't want to like peak too fast, like just because there was so much hype around season 1, and if they rushed, it wouldn't have been their true voice in it. They would have just been doing
Yeah.
it to get something out quickly, as opposed to thinking about how they want to put their stamp on something.
100% agree with you, and I think it's such a trap in the industry. And I think to be able to stand your ground and say, I'm going to take time to create what I want to create, and I want to make it art, and have people respect that is very rare. And I think very rarely people take that stand, because it's a lot easier to
He did
just
the
be
Frank
like,
Ocean route. I love it.
I've done the first album,
Not
I've
as
done
long
the
as
first
Frank,
album,
though.
I've done
It's
the
okay,
first
though.
season, and everyone loved it. I'm just going to send the same thing out for the second. And he didn't. And that's really respectful as anyone in the industry, because it's easy to get the first one and then just, build off of that
Coast
and just
along
give
and-
everyone what they want.
These
Like,
are new creative storylines. The only thing I was a little iffy on, like when you're watching it, you never know how long time has elapsed. So I'm thinking maybe he's been there a year. Like I don't know. When he had
Yes.
the scene, the episode with Rachel, I think like a whole year almost went by.
You mean how long they were dating?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying how in terms of time. I didn't know when we were going to re-see him.
I think they dated for, I read it today, I think it was supposed to be 2 years.
2 years?
I know.
Yeah, it was
That's what I said.
Yeah, because in the one episode the clock kept going over and over. So
yeah, but I mean, who wants to watch a relationship for 2 years? There's a lot of boring stuff in there.
well, I get
Just
that.
sitting next to each other on a couch.
Yeah, well, and they had a dirty floor, and that was like a bad thing. No, but I mean, like the only thing that I was a little iffy on was I know that we kind of come back to seeing him because it's his birthday, which I love that part. I sort of wish it would have been like he had been there 6 months, because I feel like a 3-month experience is when you move somewhere, it's a different experience. It's still like honeymoon-ish. I'm not saying it's a
Sure.
bad thing, but if I were to change one little thing, we're
Yeah.
the AfterBuzz after show for Master of None, we got to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I would have been like, I would have wished for like 6 or 7 months.
How do you think it would have changed the storyline, though?
I mean, he could have maybe had. He's so eager, is what I always say, but he could have had a little frustration, and I kind of like to see that sometimes.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
it's true.
Because you feel like this trip in Italy was a little too perfect?
Kind of. I didn't think that, but till you said it, maybe because
Yeah.
it's like you just
We
broke up
didn't
with your
see the
girl. You did
struggle
your
of it.
under the Tuscan sun.
Or eat, pray, love.
Diane
Right.
Lane.
Yeah, you have that moment, and I just feel like I would have liked a little longer. But that's the only thing.
His phone did get stolen, so if that makes you feel
Yeah.
better, he had some adversity there.
You got it. No, I'm not saying it's bad. Anyways, what do you guys
No,
think
I
about
get
it? It was his birthday. It was really cute to see him with his new group of friends.
The one thing that I really enjoyed is, okay, so obviously things were fast tracked, and maybe that was just for the plot line and the sake of having a second season and not just dragging us through 10 episodes of the ups and downs of a relationship and vacuuming. But I think the one thing that I really appreciated about it was like how hard it was for him to let go, and how much he was he was truly invested in a life on his own, and I appreciated that. Like, I truly appreciated that he learned a craft on his own, he learned a language on his own, and although 3 months is not realistic, what they brought us into was like, Dev ended a relationship season 1. Season 2, Dev has ended a relationship, and he has done X, Y, and Z, and kind of developed as a human, and I really appreciated that we came into that portion of his life.
Well, he talked about it having me time.
Right.
You know, it's about having and explaining that to them, and they were like, "What does that mean?" And he explains it to them, and
They made fun of it a little, but still.
But when I first saw
Me
the
too.
shots of the hands making the pasta, I was like, whose hands are those? I was like, he makes pasta now? What's going on?
He can actually do that.
That's cool, but I was like, what is...
He should come over and make us some pasta.
He should. I love
You've
a good
invited
pasta.
somebody into our...
Okay, that's another high cutie there with food now. So,
Hey, cutie.
Oh, wait, a high cutie is if someone could cook for you? That's a...
Yeah.
Oh, that adds to the high cutie-ness.
Definitely. Do you notice there
Oh
were
my
food
gosh.
shots in the high cutie?
We are learning all kinds of things.
Because I read in an
With a
article
sandwich.
that the techniques that Arnold was using are actually good techniques if you are online dating, like, you know, using food because
really?
when Aziz said I guess he said there was I think it's gonna come up later, something about Whole Foods.
yeah, we'll save that.
Okay.
Oh, these two have jumped way ahead.
no. She was
It's
reading.
something- I
She was
read
reading.
something. I read something, but basically, long story short, food brings in the girls. I mean, it's definitely the way to my heart. But I was saying that when I saw those shots of someone making pasta, I didn't know who that was, and I didn't think it was Aziz because I was like, that's not his thing. But you know, it just shows that he was open to new experiences with this new crew of friends, including the adorable Mario, whom I loved, and then Miss Sarah at his birthday.
Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to get into.
Because I was like, oh, is this what we doing now, Aziz? I see you. I got a chance.
Come on, Tsahai. Listen, I'm with you.
I didn't know, but now I'm ready.
Well, I mean, what do you do? So, what do you do in that situation? You're there. You have your reservation, and then you see someone. Do you
you go.
No. I'm just talking about the reservation part.
Yeah.
Do you make the gesture? Like, I mean,
Yes.
if I'm at the reservation counter,
You know
and
what?
they're like, I'm gonna seat you, Mr. Hong, and I'm like, okay, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, dude, blah blah blah, I can't sit. Do I say?
No, I'm
"Why
like
don't
this.
you- why don't you?"
I'm like Mr. Hong. Hello.
I honestly,
you?
how hard it is to get in, guy or girl, I would be like, look, I know. Just come on
Right.
in.
I know I'm not
And
crazy.
you know,
don't
as
look
long as
crazy.
there's like
Let's eat.
as long as there's some sort of relationship established where I'm like, I don't really have to have conversation with you unless it's okay with both of us, which I like that they did. I appreciated that. It wasn't like he forced it on her, she forced it on him, but I thought it was really funny.
See, smart guy says, listen. If you buy me a drink, you can sit with me.
Buy you a drink. No, we going
my
Dutch.
God.
You gave me
got all
a seat
the
at the
moves.
table like
You can't knock it
salon.
So you can
Try,
buy a
though.
drink. It's like you traveled 3 hours to not have a seat.
Wait
So
a
to have a
minute.
seat at my table,
Wait
you can
a
buy
minute.
me a
Wait a
drink.
So you're leveraging your situation.
Rick is like,
Split a dessert.
Rick is like, you know what? If you want to come to dinner with me and sit opposite me at the table, you better be buying my dinner.
Rick, look.
Just a drink, not dinner, just a
No,
drink.
no. I would not
Which
buy
is sort of a flirty thing though too, because now
Like
you
a
invite
water?
her. You invite her to buy that drink. No, you invite her to buy that drink, and it does enhance some
you don't
romance.
tell a lady to buy me a drink. You let her
But
do
that's
it on
not
her
a normal
own.
situation. I didn't think this at all in my head, but when Rick said it, I do kind of understand. You vibe off what was happening. Like this
No.
is unusual.
No, but buying a drink is a kind gesture, right? And so he already made the gesture by inviting her to eat with him. Cool. But then
Yes.
to demand, hey, you got to buy me a drink. Maybe she was going to do that on her own. Maybe she was going to say, you know what? I'll cover your dessert.
She used the word
split it.
demand. I don't know if
I'm
he said
buying. I'm
demand.
buying. You said dessert. I'm buying. I'm like, yes, please come sit at my
See what
table.
I'm saying? Just let
I
it
don't
happen
understand how
naturally.
I've gotten into this dating conversation.
When they were dating, it was just.
But I felt like generally watching it, I was okay with everything that happened. But now thinking about it, yes, I'm on the same page. I'm like, well, you better buy me a drink or this
No,
or that.
ma'am.
But yes, okay, I get
You're
it.
on the same page. How funny. Your name is Paige.
I
If you ever had a
know.
website, you could call it I'm on the same page. We branded that. Thank
Actually,
you.
my publishing is like pen to page, which is
Okay, we're late. Sorry, we just met you today. But I did love everything about Miss Sarah. She called herself, I'm just a basic British girl.
Okay, so if
she was
Sarah
so-
didn't have the accent,
A
would
basic
she not
British
have been
girl.
sitting there? If she was
I mean,
from Chicago.
But who
I think
cares,
she would have
though?
been
It's all
sitting
about
there.
vibes, you guys. Like,
Right.
I feel like your rules can't be blanket.
Okay.
Like, I'm in a situation, this girl's here, blah, 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 blah. It's my birthday. I'm okay to sit alone. But then this situation arose. Like, you got to rock out with it. And that is the beauty of, moving somewhere and
Yeah. I mean, regardless, honestly, Dev has never had pickings. He's never had like a pot to be
Like
like
options?
I'm gonna do this one or that one or this one or that one. Like, I think he was really lucky that he stumbled upon Kind
Yeah.
Sarah, and he knew it. He was upset when it didn't work out.
No, because the reason I ask about the accent is, have you ever met someone with a British accent and you're immediately like, oh.
True.
Yeah, sure.
And
Yes.
he said it. He was like, had you not had that lovely accent, you would not
But
be
she
sitting
was
here.
gorgeous. Regardless,
cute
Dev
girl.
had not met a girl for so long.
But I didn't know Dev was open to these new options. So I was like, okay, Dev, I see you.
He's an equal employment
I didn't
opportunity
know
guy.
this.
You know?
I didn't know this in season 1. I mean, his other black homegirl was a lesbian, so I didn't know he was open.
Yeah.
So now I know.
You know what other woman in the show I was always interested to what you're saying. There was the girl in the Ladies and Gentlemen episode.
Yes, Condola Rashad.
Is that her name?
Yeah, Felicia Rashad's daughter.
Is it now?
Really?
By the way, she's just absolutely gorgeous. I had no idea, and I think she's in the trailer a smidge, so we might see her a little bit more.
Hopefully.
So if we're talking about Dev going into that direction,
We
that would-
welcome you, Deb.
Yeah.
Come.
all I know for me is that first season I was like, wait, what? I was like, Carrie Matheson? What's she doing in this episode? Like Claire Danes, who's in Homeland.
Oh,
That's her
yes,
character
yes,
in
yes,
Homeland.
yes.
So I was like, wait, what is she doing here?
Oh, I almost forgot about that episode. That was the other man. Yeah, do we have any other final thoughts on the first episode?
It's hard because there's
Okay,
much to
well,
say.
I need to talk about
Okay.
this.
Because I know we got to get to the...
this goodbye
We
at the
gotta jump.
car. Okay, first of all, Deb,
So
why are
unsmooth.
you asking if you can make out with someone? You don't ask.
I
You
don't
just
know. I
make
liked
out.
it though.
No,
I'm
because
still.
he's
I'm
dead.
I'm an
He
eighth-
hasn't dated in a while.
I'm
He
an
hasn't
eighth
dated in a
grader.
while, right?
And then he was all corny, like,
What's that?
okay, let's not do it, but okay, let's do it. And then no, you got to just be firm. You're gonna kiss
You're being
the
too
girl.
grown, Tsahai. You're being way
Fine,
too adult.
fine.
I'm an
Okay.
eighth
Polite
grader.
guys ask.
No.
Wait, Anthony,
Ooh,
our
that's
engineer,
weird.
says polite guys ask.
Okay.
Although it might be
No.
a
And
little...
that's why he gets no play.
And I can fully agree with that. I can fully agree with asking, but when you ask and she says okay, and then you're like, wait, I mean,
But see,
Yeah.
you already said that you like an assertive guy
yeah, no,
that
that's
that'll just make the move, doesn't have to ask. And he even regrets it afterwards because I've done that numerous times where I'm like, man, I should have.
Guys, just take a mint as long as your breath is good. If you're feeling the vibe, if you just do the
You know
slight
what?
lean in, and if she pulls back, then you just kind of do a swerve like this.
It would have
But
been as
just do it.
special. It would
he
have
didn't
been
ask- he didn't say,
special
"Can
that
I?"
time if he'd done
He-
it
he-
again and
He said,
Puglia?
how do you say it? Puglia?
Yeah, I think so.
It would have been exactly the same. And I think that that's a historical thing about Dev as a character is that he's like, I'm gonna do it. Should I do it? I'm gonna shit.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not pimp. He's not pimp.
He has no
He's
game.
not.
He's a nice guy, Dev. All right,
He
we
needs a
do
girl
got to
that's been
jump
like-
into episode 2. I'm sorry, because I know that's the one we really love. The only thing to end on episode 1 was that he, of course, when Sarah did get away, he socially online stalked her. Not stalked her, stalked
Trying
the
to find
theory
her.
of her.
Trying to find her.
Terribly
a
stalked
light
her.
research.
Which was fantastic because I don't know who in this table has ever done something like
I've
that.
done it, and I've been able to pinpoint a girl that I met at
Oh my
karaoke.
God.
I feel like the key to doing it is going on like Instagram and going on like location. So
Friends.
yeah, go to a location and then if you go like
These are
you know
some new moves. I don't know about
You know,
this.
it's really funny because girls are being like, we're stereotypes as Instagram stalkers, but right now I'm like,
Yeah, you're
and
schooling
what do
me
I do?
right
And
here.
what do I do right now?
Exactly.
So let me know.
All right, let's get into and then we end with him just getting kind of a soft spot for Rachel. Of course, he doesn't correspond with her on the birthday. That's kind of how we end, and he's sad or whatever.
Yeah, he opens the door, Rachel door, a little bit. That's
Just
what
by
I would
thinking
say.
of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't see no Rachel, no correspondence, and then we get on to episode number 2. I'll let you say it again.
I don't say it right, but I'm just gonna act like
I know, but you're so cute when you do.
Nozz.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Le Nozz. I don't know.
I didn't realize how excited I was going to be that Arnold came back. Like,
my
in other
gosh.
words, like it wasn't on my radar. Like, I need more Arnold. But
Yeah.
by going to episode 1 and getting little Mario and Sarah and all these new characters, yeah, I loved it. But when Arnold came, I wanted to jump and do the hug too.
Okay.
Okay, can I share a really fun fact? I Googled this today. Aziz Ansari is 5'6". Arnold is 6'7".
Yeah, he's huge.
He really is 6'7"?
Eric,
I saw
who
that on the
plays
app. I
Arnold,
didn't-
is 6'7", and then I was like, "How tall is Aziz Ansari?" My friend we were like, he's probably like 5'9", 5'6", which I am. So it's kind of hysterical.
What I loved is seeing Arnold in those shorts.
big
That's what
difference.
I was happy for, because Arnold has some nice legs.
Come on, big guy. Yeah.
I was like, get it, Arnold.
Tallguys.com. That's where he's at.
All guys got
But it was so cute to see him. And what I thought about, I was like, okay, in episode 1, Mario was Dev's little bud, and in episode 2,
Nice catch,
Arnold
yeah.
was the big bud.
That's
So
what, even in my notes. That's what I wrote. I go, episode 2
Yeah.
to me was all about little bud and big bud hanging out. It makes you want to have a opposite bud of whatever you
No,
are.
man, it makes me just want to have a friend to go eat with because I was just hungry the whole episode.
Yeah, I loved it when they were like, "What do you want to do today?" I just feel like we should eat with minimal breaks. Yes.
And you girls, I think, or someone in our email was talking about, you guys love the sing-songy of them.
Yes.
What was their sing-song? Eating in Italy is my favorite thing.
No, eating in Italy is my favorite thing.
Eating in Italy is my favorite thing.
No, you gotta eat my favorite thing. Yeah, there's a pause.
Yeah.
There's a pause.
For people that don't really follow the show, they're like, this is crazy. But if you watch it, you know how charming
It's
that whole
so
thing
We're gonna
good.
is.
practice some more.
We'll get it next week.
do
I
some
have
harmony.
one question: is Osteria Francesca an actual place in Modena? Like the really
That
fancy
restaurant
restaurant?
that
No,
that
it is.
Arnold took him
It's on
to?
the chef's table.
Is that the one that he met Sarah at?
No, it's one that they go to. The
No,
two of them
the
that they go
in
fancy
to.
this
one.
episode. Yes.
Yeah,
Where
I
he
saw that.
steps out.
Who's the chef? Massimo, I think it is the chef. Yeah, I looked that up as
if
well
you
today.
watch, if you watch Netflix, like the Chef's Table, like or one of those
Okay.
food shows,
That's one
it's an
thing I hadn't
actual place. It's an
researched.
actual place. Yeah, I'm sure the line is a gazillion. We're never
Yeah,
gonna be
they
able to go.
said it was like 3 years long.
You
to
take
get in
that away.
there.
We're gonna be able to go. I feel good
Okay,
things.
I like that
show
you're
up.
using the power of the secret and your visual.
I mean, I feel like I'm we could do it all. Anyways, real quick, did you guys have any standout moments with the Arnold? We have to move quick, of course.
Okay.
The Arnold Dev interaction. I liked the quick commentary. I just mentioned it. About, wait a minute, you're gonna sit at the house at the Airbnb and you're gonna just jerk off all day? And then he's like, no, it's someone's house. I can't jerk off. And then he's like, you do it at a hotel. I literally like sat in my head and was just wondering, like, I don't think I could ever jerk off in an Airbnb. This is me personally,
Right.
because I love a
love
good
that
jerk
this
off.
is your point.
It is my thing, and I love myself
I
more than
would.
anyone could.
Hey,
But
gotta spend time
I
with
could
yourself.
feel very comfortable in a
me
whole.
time. It's me time.
Anthony, what about you? Where do you jerk off?
No, I was just saying I'm not shaking.
He's
your
like in the
hand
booth.
anymore.
I hope you're not doing it now. This show's gonna go an extra 10 minutes
Yeah.
or one.
Just looking at your face.
I think my favorite moments, if I think about these 2 episodes, were the Fiat getting stuck.
Oh my gosh.
And then Arnold getting stuck. I was like, because I was like, he's not gonna fit, and he didn't. And that was one of my favorite moments. And the moment where Arnold was like approaching his ex who was getting married, and he was like, take my hand. And Deb was like, why don't you take my hand?
Wait, what do you think of the doppelganger?
The
Stealing his
doppelganger
essence.
was amazing.
Wait, have you ladies ever done that or seen? I definitely have. I can pinpoint friends and say, yeah, that was a doppelganger of this person.
But you know what? It's what people call a type, and it's hysterical because
Yeah, it's
people
true.
are like, I have this type, and it's like a beard, and it's this, and it's that, and this height.
He was
and
an
it's
extreme
like,
type,
and then
too.
suddenly it's like a weird thing where like everyone that they date after the first one looks exactly the same. But it's so true. Like
Yeah.
it just killed me because it was like, you're not my type, and then he was.
That
He's just a
was-
miniature, like slightly
And he
miniature
was.
version of
I
him.
love that he was getting like soothed by Melon.
Yes. Yeah.
I need another melon.
Like
Melon
that's
is
a
only for good
soothing
boys.
factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the fact
Here,
that
let me get a
Arnold
melon.
couldn't control himself at this wedding, like he starts with two
so good.
champagne glasses of champagne. He goes to talk to his ex-girlfriend of 11 years. That's a long time.
The whole idea is you don't go to that wedding. You just don't.
I was like, how did you even get invited here? Because I wouldn't want to see you.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's what I loved about Arnold's character too, because we only see like happy-go-lucky. So even when they were at that restaurant,
It's
you
true.
see, I think they do another song. It's "We Love Eating at this restaurant,"
Mm-hmm.
and like while they're finishing clinking their wine glasses, they both get kind of down and out, and that's when Dev goes outside to
Yeah.
go text Rachel, and that's when we still think Arnold's always gonna be so chipper, and we find
He
out.
sees it.
But you know what that makes me think? Like, here it is, they're best buds, right? And in that moment, they have a toast. They're enjoying this moment. But then there's that pause, and they're like, Dev has to leave to go speak to Rachel, because even though they have each other, they still need like a partner, a companion, and that's what they're lacking. So
well, and I feel like that's been moments, we all relate to. Like, you're like having such a great time with your friends, but
and then it hits you.
You know, the moment you do find like
you
a weird
miss somebody.
Yeah, and I like that the car thing happened, because I think that sort of caused Arnold to have to be vulnerable to Dev about the wedding. Because was he going to tell her? Was he going to tell him?
No, he didn't tell him in the beginning, and Arnold was literally stuck between a rock and a hard place.
So do it, girl.
I really enjoyed, though, how they reacted to it, and that they left and they were like, we're fine to leave 100%, and did their own exploration and enjoyed their relationship as friends, which is so crucial and very rare, actually. Mostly that happens with a partner. And they did that, and then the next thing, they came back and they were fine.
But they missed the whole wedding ceremony.
And it was probably better for him, though.
But Dev's like, did we miss the food? Because of course that's what
I
he
would
was
say.
I heard that selfish comment. Yeah.
It was like,
I was
make that
worried,
belly.
right? I was worried. I was like, when Arnold said, "Okay, I'm gonna go say something," I was really nervous. But the fact that he put that spin on it, and he kept it real, he was like, "Listen, you are, the smaller version of me." But the fact that at the end he was like, if she chose you, you have a good heart. That just showed he's such a big person. Oh, and I love the part when Arnold came back, when Dev gave him the pep talk and said, "You're better off single," and he like jumped in the air. For such a big guy, he's got moves.
He's agile.
Agile.
I like the way he got a little down and out, and then when they had their talk, he was starting to text someone else from the site, and he's like, "Oh,
hey, cutie.
Arnold is back. Hey, cutie." That was it. Yeah. Great episode. I mean, I feel like we could talk on and on about it, but I know we do have to kind of wrap it up. Then at the end of it, going into the beginning, didn't know if he was going to return to New York, but we see that he does go back.
Yeah.
Thoughts about that? Was it too soon?
I wasn't ready. I wanted some more Italy, but I'm excited
That's 2 episodes, though. 2 episodes out of 10.
You
it's
know
okay.
what? I can't say if I'm ready for it or not yet, because what I've learned from this show and what I've learned from Aziz is, I don't know.
But what do we? I'm excited about this
I'm
adventure.
sure I'm gonna be happy.
What, Cupcake Wars?
Yeah. Well, even before Cupcake Wars or whatever it was called, what I liked was, I don't know if you guys felt the way it was conveyed. At least I did. How when he was sitting there in his apartment, it was like, you ever get that moment where you're like, has nothing ever changed? Like you go when you go somewhere, right? In life, you do.
And life is so different.
And then once you come back, it's like, what the fuck? I'm still in the same.
Like Groundhog Day.
That's what I felt like. Maybe it was just something personal to me where I was like feeling that about certain things. But
I truly wonder, and I'll make this short, but I truly wonder if the end of the show will end up with Aziz being successful, which he is now. I truly wonder if that will happen, because it is very relatable and very down and out. But I truly wonder if the path that he's portraying without this series and this whole every single step is somehow true. And I just kind of wonder if it's gonna.
Now, please note, for those listening and watching, we haven't watched all the episodes, although you
Not
may
yet.
have. So we don't know what has happened. So don't spoil it for us, and that's why we're speaking.
In the comments, don't do it.
Yeah,
don't spoil it for
not
anybody
that
else.
we're dumb. We just haven't watched everything because we're pacing ourselves.
Just go with us. 1 and 2. Yeah.
Very good. Hey, well, guys, it was a great season 1. Of course, we love that, and season 2
Yes.
is
Can't wait
finally
for the
here.
best.
We'll wrap it up. Tsahai, do you mind kind of letting everyone know your social media handles and
Yes,
stuff?
you can find me at Say Hi Tsahai. That's SayhiTsahai on Instagram and Twitter.
And your favorite quote from the show, season 1 or 2, or the high cutie, whatever, baby.
Yeah, I love the high cutie.
Okay, that's Tsahai with the high cutie. Come on, Ricky, what do you got?
I'm Rick Hong. You can find me on all social media at Rick Hong. And I got to say, ciao.
And I'm at
Lora's yet?
Paige Kelly Bach on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm gonna say allora.
I like the music that's playing in the background. Oh, bring that up a little. Come on, I want to be on a Vespa right now.
We're saying goodbye.
Anyways, my name is Randomly Ronnie Jr. on all social. It was so fun to recap the show. We all fell in love with the show, and we're glad that we're going to talk about it for 5 episodes with you.
Oh, wait, let them know that we're going to be an hour earlier next week.
Okay, hour earlier.
Next week, 10 p.m.
Just follow the AfterBuzz like
Pacific
Instagram.
Standard
You'll
Time.
be set. Thank you. We're out of here.
Next week.
Perché la professoressa mi faceva molto gola quando facevo il militare, poi la moglie del tenente mi faceva le moine, io la presi tra la gente, perciò bambina, se sono qui per te stasera, è una fortuna.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Hey, cutie!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.